I'm a realist in that respect. I'm, um, I'm not hoping for the best. I'm working for the best. I'm doing my part. That gives me peace, and I know it gives others peace to be part of the so-called change, part of the solution, and that's where it's at. And if this whole playing field now that like we're in a like a theater, playing these roles, the whole theater burns down. Well, we know better. We're going to be fine. It's just a temporary illusion. So okay, play's over. It's time for a new one, and who knows? I'll see you at Pleiades, or I'll see you. I don't know where we're going to meet up, but we can't worry about that part. That's and so, and perhaps we'll have to kind of assume if it's the evolution of things, it's the best thing to happen. It'll be a reset. It may be horrifically devastating. The population could go through a humongous reduction. We don't know. I was in the revolution in Iran, like I was telling you, and it's not a pleasant experience. It's a different society. The fabric of society and your perception of it just goes. It gets, and doctors driving to help somebody in the night on a doctor's call. The young guard, all freaked out. Everything's martial law, and he's got this gun. And the guy says, "What are you doing?" And he doesn't say anything. He reaches into his jacket to get his doctor's card. Bam! He didn't know if it was a gun, so he killed him. The awakening is happening before our very eyes. And I've had for years, I've been writing about it, and people say, "Oh, he's Pollyanna, everything's cool, everything." I don't write like that at all. It's not what I'm saying. But the fact is, truth is good news. Truth is so-called positive. But it's really lies versus truth. It's not positive, negative, because even the negative is for our growth. For some reason, the universe has allowed these other things. But that also implies directly that we have the power to be it confront, dispel, or not attached to, and thus it just loses its power, these so-called negative forces. Because so much of it is powered by our reaction to it. This is a co-creation we're in. So that's why some of these teachings, like the Wetiko teachings and the Archon agenda and the Gnostic teachings, are so resonant to me that they make such sense. In the Wetiko teachings, they say that once this thing has infected somebody, and we've all been infected to some degree because we're living in this environment, just like breathing the chemtrails. But we have blind spots, and by definition, you don't know it's a blind spot. So these are the things that we're going to need to be made more aware of as things proceed, because anything, it's like a hurricane, anything that's not nailed down, it's not the wind that kills you, it's the debris.
The unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right.
Sing it. Don't make me get the guitar out.
Yeah, I remember the song. It's been so long.
They didn't get any spiritual roots, they're going to be dangerous to be around. And even if they're loved ones, well, I'll tell you what, we need to survive. The truth needs to survive. I mean, I tried to help them, but it gets to a point I can't help you anymore. Here you go, like the crumbs for the birds. There you go. They'll remember. Sometimes too little, too late. I don't know. But if that's what it takes for people to wake up, to go through this storm that's coming, which apparently it is a last chance for a lot of people, then bring it on. Bring it on. It sounds merciless, but we have to transcend these other more base feelings and understandings of what's going on here. We've got to see it from a transcendent, clear-hearted perspective. So that's what I do with my writings, and the book is written with the design to help people identify what they're going through more easily. It's definitely both, because a light worker is someone who works with light in order to protect and also move forward, light the path. There's so many things.
So you're saying he's up and still kicked ass, right?
Yeah, they don't know what's up.
That's great.
And I think we need to learn how to activate these weapons, activate our essence, and have more intuitive trust that we are already equipped. We don't have to live in a mountain retreat for 10 years to become some attained guru or saint. We're simple people. We love our children. If you need to heal someone, or you want some spiritual healing, well, put your hands on them and intend healing, you know, or if you know someone who has a gift, for sure, but do it with them. We all have it, you know. Yeah, the hands. Wow, you know, we're loaded. But what activates it is our conscious awareness of it, and it's you could call it faith, because faith is knowing, belief is kind of hoping, but faith is, if someone has faith, I don't diss it. Like, even if someone is in the religious paradigm, but they've had an experience and they want to call it Jesus, or I don't diss a faith. That's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trapped in dogma and that kind of stuff, then I have an issue.
The old ranger saying, it's better to have tried
There you
anything
go.
than to have never tried at all.
Me and my newly shiny labeled institutional ideology that I want to sell and take lots of your money for it. Ooh, good, look at me, I'm just an amazing person. I'm going to stand in front of the whole world at different speaking events and con you into believing I'm just so freaking awesome when I'm actually the biggest asshole on the planet.
Steve Vai. Because I believe in evolution.
Oh, really? For snack?
And I'd like to say a special thank you to
No, cook it.
a woman who was there when I needed her.
We could put black stripes on your guitar like Eddie Van Halen. This is red and white.
Maybe you're going stripes across it, or you're doing pinstripes around.
It's got white stripes all over it. It's red with red.
Is that the paint splatter one too?
It's not really a paint splatter. It's a...
You know, it's like they say, the camera is my mistress.
This category had enough of pseudo-pretentious bullshitters, frauds, fakes, cons, idiots, morons, fuckwits, and all of the above who continue to plague this beautiful state of awakening that we as humanity are currently going through. You guys, there's a special place in hell for you guys, and you don't do this world any favor with the stuff that you're doing, and I'm very sorry to say, but I'm quite happy to speak openly about these people, who they are, and the stuff that they're doing, because in fact there are more fake projects out there than there are real ones of the same old bullshit. Seriously guys, come up with a new act. This what was going on now, this pseudo pretentious new age spiritual bullshit, it's so fucking old and we're so tired of it.
And when's this gonna be on? I want to tell my mama.
Sometime next month.
That's good. You know, my mama said I ought to be on TV, except for my mugshot on the news.
You know what? We know who you are, and you're making a fool of yourself, and we can see what you're doing. And I don't know if you know that you're doing this, but you're fucking up everything that you've done and all the beautiful work that you've done in the past by behaving so foolishly and doing such stupid stuff. So think long and hard about what it is you're doing, and yeah, perhaps you should stop doing it. Respect everybody's free will and right to make their stupid choices, but you know, you're screwing it up for everybody else and shitting all over the good work that you've done. So perhaps you should, you know, stop doing it. Mention being insulting to those of us intelligent enough to see what these people are doing. And this like, yoo-hoo, I want to be a guru, like yoo-hoo, I want to be a guru. This whole guru, you know, listen to me, I can activate your DNA, fluff, fluff, blah, blah, whatever. These ideologies, ideas, institutions, you know, global truth universities where you can get a certificate of discernment. You know, next you'll be needing a license to be a researcher. Or let me, you know, pretend that I'm a reincarnation of someone special from another life, or me come back from the future to save humanity. I am the reincarnation of Enki and I'm here to save humanity. Famous people in the truth movement who actually believe in these things. They create these sort of new age external locus of identity type scenarios for themselves that people buy into, this messianic label that they create for themselves. They throw so much donations at it. In the end, it's just an ego, and it's just a bunch of false new age bullshit. First off, they're sucking funds out of very vulnerable people who, many of them, have experienced great hardship themselves and are searching for solutions. Secondly, they mislead people into believing in false ideologies and paradigms which have no chance of, first off, ever being realistic, secondly, ever coming to fruition, because the people at the head of them are just such utter fucking muppets. And they have no chance of making it work, no matter what they do, because they just self-sabotage everything, because everything's about them. And this becomes very obvious when you start to look at a number of key people within the truth movement who have been very destructive with the projects that they've worked with, and caused a lot of damage. And it's really hard to keep motivated when you're constantly working with this level of idiocy, negligence, sociopathy on one level, narcissism on another, a complete selfishness and greed.
I always hope that I am wrong when I become the voice of doom. But, we sit here and we look at this information and we pick out the patterns. So we're probably in the best position to possibly give its opinion at this stage is all it is. Remember the golden rule whenever, it's one of the things we teach in the Journalism Academy, whenever you're doing your research, is always the golden rule, follow the money line.
Obviously, so much is conditional, but it's my personal conviction that there's so much in motion, and the psychopathic forces have amassed so much weaponry, insane intentions, and they don't think like we do. We're dealing with psychopaths and worse. So there's something in Israel called the Samson option, where they're told that if they're in a situation where it looks like they're going to lose, it's better that they blow everything up, including themselves. This is psychopathy. We become more intuitive and willing to open up our senses in all kinds of ways to discover what's really going on here, and then it becomes really fun. But at the same time, we're in a very dark age with dark energies of all sorts, whether you want to call them demons, jinn, archons, Watiko, all these different things, and they're all important to learn about. It is known in the human collective psyche that we have, call it a parasitic or a virus, that is attacking humanity and living off of humanity's energy. Where are we in this? So what do we do? So for me, I like to digest it, take it apart, with the intention of helping others through this process. And she's still angry and upset and horrified, and she's saying, "How long is this going to last?" I said, "It won't be much longer. There are trends, but you've got to get past it, and you will. But the way to do it is see through this ugliness that's being projected on us like a giant black spider web. See through it, because it's a veil to keep us with a purpose, to keep us from connecting with Source. Not just out there, the veil's also in our heart. That's the real us, our authentic self. And that's going to bring about changes in our personal life.